Good morning and welcome to our live crafting session this morning. It is Monday the 9th of October 2023. My name is Jenny McCormack and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire, and that's here in the UK. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're joining us live, do say hi. It's always lovely to know who's with us. And if this is the first time you've joined us, then a good morning and welcome to you. Morning, Carol. And you can watch this obviously every time live. Morning, Kerry. We are here on a Monday morning at 10 AM and a Thursday evening at 7 PM. That's UK time. But these videos all also get loaded up to YouTube. It's a lot easier to find them on YouTube than it is on Facebook. So you can just hop to YouTube and look for Jemini Crafts with a J, or look for Jenny McCormack, and you will find all of the videos on there. There are some playlists as well, so it's categorized by catalogue, for example, or stamp set of the week, or coffee and card. There's a Christmas designs playlist, and obviously these go back to when I first did videos, but hopefully they should be in reverse order, latest first. I dread to think, looking back at my very early videos, what they look like now, but there we go, it's a learning curve, isn't it? So good morning. We're using a new bundle today, and this is what we're doing at Coffee and Card. It's called Heartfelt Hexagon, and this was launched with World Card Making Day in mind. So it's not in a catalogue, but if you type in Heartfelt Hexagon or just the word hexagon into the Stampin' Up website, then you will find this stamp set, and it has a coordinating punch, and this punch obviously punches out this shape here. You've got the dots, and then you've got a more full edge, and then you've got sentiments that will fit inside. And obviously this hexagon can go either way, and I like it because it's a sort of soft hexagon, so it's got rounded corners. So a design that we've done quite a few times in the past at Coffee and Card, but it always works really well, and especially if you've got papers to use up and not necessarily big pieces, this is a perfect way of doing that. So here's a design using the fishing papers, and I've just popped a happy birthday in there. These little elements here come from the Heartfelt Hexagon stamp set, and what I've done is taken a piece of backing card. This is a note card size, but obviously you could put it onto a larger card, punched out various pieces of the paper, thanks Kerry, and then place the sentiment down first, and then place the elements around it, and then that goes onto a note card. So this is with the fishes, or the fish I should say. This one I did just to show that you can have it whichever way round you want. It doesn't have to be with the long side going horizontally. And then this one is using those lovely papers from the mini catalogue. Okay, so I'm going to do one. I think what I'm going to do is a fishing one, but I'm going to do it as a retirement card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my message and then punch that out, and I think I'm going to use Pretty Peacock. Am I? I suppose I need to look at the papers really. Perhaps I don't need peacock with that at all. Let's have a look. Let me grab the papers. So any shades of blue really would work for these. Let's pop these out here. So although obviously these feature fish, it's called Let's Go Fishing, there are some really lovely background designs as well. So we've got this one here, but on the back of it we've got a lovely gingham. This one with the little flies on. Morning Catherine, morning Teresa. And we've got that on the reverse. And then we've got these ones here. And on the reverse of that we've got that lovely blue. It's almost like a sort of denim look. And let's see what I haven't used. I've got this one with Mossy Meadow and stripes. That's Pebbled Path on the back of that, so maybe I use Pebbled Path. And then we have this one here with the blues, and then it's got like a a navigational map. And then we've got the rods, and then this lovely sort of net design. Okay, so I think we'll use Pebbled Path in that case. Right, let me grab Pebbled Path ink. So maybe I'll do, let's have a look. This is rather nice though. Oh, I can't really make decisions like this on a Monday morning. That's quite nice too. So maybe I will do this with the patterned papers, but not necessarily fishing. Let's have a look. Right, this works particularly well where you've got papers that contrast. If you can look here, you've got the lighter elements here in the backing and then the darker Calypso Coral. This one is the Countryside Inn papers, and this one again is the fish. So here's Pebbled Path. So I hope everybody had a nice weekend. It was very pleasant, lovely weather here, really nice. So I'm going to stamp my Happy Retirement. Then I'm going to stamp the outline from here. And I do love this one here, just a little bit more solid, but this one is very effective as well. And I did think in our team we have a team challenge, and so it's a creative challenge, and what I thought I might do is a one sheet wonder, thanks to Catherine. So I thought what I might do is actually use the fishing set for a one sheet wonder, just as something completely different. Normally I go for florals, but as it's a challenge, I'm going to challenge myself. Okay, so I'm going to put this around the outside. Doesn't really matter whether you do the outside and then the inside, but you do want to do both of those before you punch it out. I might, because I've got a little bit of space there, I might add this cute little design here. This is one of those really useful little stamps for when you've got a little gap. I could, oh sorry, knock the, let's put this back where it belongs. Okay. Roughly right, sort of. Right, let's grab a small block, that's what I'm looking for. Hi Angela. I'm looking forward to the weekend. have our customer craft day on Saturday. Right, let's grab this little one here. And you can make this go whichever way you want. So I'm going to sort of fill that little gap. I'll bring that up to the screen so you can see it. There it is. Okay. Finish with the ink for the moment. So let's punch that out. Just take your time to line it up. Just mind you don't catch your fingers when you do that. Okay, so always do all the stamping, especially of the outline and your main sentiment, before you punch it out. It's much more difficult to stamp onto a smaller area. So all I'm going to do now is punch some elements from this lovely paper. So this, as I said, is the fishing paper, but I don't actually know anybody. Well, I do know a few people that fish. So I'm just going to punch out a few of these. So you want about 6 to 8. It really depends on how many pieces you've got. And this is perfect, as I said, for using up oddments of papers. This works particularly well, obviously, for Christmas, if you've got old Christmas papers or current Christmas papers. Let's see, let's add this one in. So this is that lovely stripe. So I'm using all of the non-fishing side, like so. And let's see, shall I introduce this one? Not sure that I am. I might need to punch out another one. Let's see how we go. Okay, so I have a piece of Pebbled Path card. This measures 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, and this is going to fit a 3 1/2 by 5 inch note card. So what I'm going to do is start with the sentiment. Now on these ones I put one on the right, one on the left. I'm going to put this one right in the middle, and I'm trying to think who did that on Friday. It looked really good. So let's grab some glue and glue this down. If I get my glue to work. So the secret with this is not to go mad on your glue. You don't want the glue coming out all over the place and making a sticky front. So I'll show you how I avoid that. Okay, now you can prepare this by sort of laying it out beforehand, and you can either go really even, or you can you know, just do it completely random. Entirely up to you. So there we are. Now when you do it this way, all you need to do really is trim round the edges. When you're doing it at one side, you can trim round the edges. I might do another one so that you can see, but if this was your main one here, you get lots of bits left over, so you can use those to fill in the gaps. You don't need one new one for every single little space. Hi Glenda, good evening to you in Australia. So I can't remember how to do this now. Right, let's do, so I want to sort of alternate like that. So ideally you want some contrast in there. I think that will work. That will work fine. And I'm not worrying too much about these tiny little edges. Okay, so that one's stuck. So what I'm going to do now is put my glue on here, not on the back of here. If you put it on the back of this piece, the temptation is to go all the way over, and then you push it down, and then you find you're attached to your work surface or your grid paper. So what I like to do is put it on here only, like so. And this works particularly well if you leave a little bit of a gap. Because these are rounded shapes, they fit together, but you get this tiny little gap, and if they're not even, it really shows you know, the gap. So I like to have a little bit of gap, and that also means you don't need so many pieces of paper. Okay, so this one's going to go in there next, and I know not to go too close to the other one, but I can go up towards the edge here. And it's a bit like patchwork. It's literally going to put these pieces on. Okay, like so. Hope the sound's okay. Nobody's complaining, so that's always a good sign. Okay, let's put this one on. And also I could turn this round so the slant was going the other way. And you definitely want to use wet glue, in my opinion, for this. Oh, thanks, Catherine. Because you've got time to sort of manoeuvre it around. I'll do it like that. Oh, perhaps like that. Otherwise it's a little bit too what's the word? Too organised. And you could use a complete contrasting background. I've chosen Pebble Path, which is the same as these, but you could have a complete contrast background. I was thinking actually that wild wheat would look really nice. That's really nice wheaty colour as a contrast to make it stand out. Okay, so there's our basic card design done, and you just want to give that 20 seconds or so, just so that you know the paper is fully attached and not going to move. And then you're just going to turn it over and just use your scissors to cut the backs off. Now you might find a little bit of glue on there. You could also use a trimmer, just whatever your preferred method, or a guillotine. If you've got a guillotine, that works particularly well. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the edge of the scissors, so I'm right-handed, putting the edge of the scissors against the card, and that prevents me from generally cutting into the card and getting a wobbly edge. Okay, so there's that one, and the good thing is when you do that is you've got a whole series. You could almost, it's not, because I've not quite cut it in half, but you could almost certainly make a second one, because these are nearly half pieces. There you go. So you can definitely get 2 for 1 from that. Alright, so that is going to go onto a note card. I've got 3 choices. I've got vanilla note card, I've also got white, but obviously this is vanilla, and I've got this one here, the craft ones, so I think I'm going to use that. Like so. Okay, so that's just going to go onto the front. And you could use some of those as the leftovers as a layer on the inside if you wanted. And don't worry if it's not exact. So this piece here is slightly further over. Don't fret over it. It's the overall effect that you're looking for. So that's the one with it in the centre. And as I say, what you could do is put 3 of these on the inside. You could have that one, and ones that go the same way, like that. In fact, I think I will do that. So let's just pop that one on, just as a finishing touch. You could also do a line at the top, and I'm not even going to measure that, but if it offends you that that's not exactly centered, you could certainly measure it and line it up with this point here. But I'm just going to add this piece on here. So now I'm using this new hexagon, which I really do like. It's a nice shape, perfect for sentiments, because it's just a little bit deeper. But you could use other shapes. If you've got a square punch or a triangle punch, you could certainly use those. Or dies, of course. Just takes a little bit longer to die cut, that's all. Okay, so I'm going to line that up. So we've got that on the outside, those on the inside, and again, just turn it over and trim it. So you just put the scissors on the edge. There we go. So there's a retirement card using the fishing papers, but not a fish inside. So it's the same as these. Okay, but just the reverse side. Let's do one with some of the florals, just really quickly. For anybody who's joined us after the start, just looking for my top of the glue. Thanks, Kerry. It's an old design, but it works particularly well. Right, let's see. Let's add. Let's put this one on. Let's use Pretty Peacocks. I did get that out. So I'm just going to try this the other way round. So I'm going to stamp this and then do the bit inside, just see which is easier. You don't have to use the edge piece, but I think it really does set that design off. So we've got Mr. and Mrs. Let's Eat Cake, Sincere Sympathy, Hope Your Day is Filled with Joy, Sending You Lots of Love and Hugs, and then you've got these really useful small elements. Never underestimate those. And then we've got a For You as well. That's always a good choice. Let's have this one. Sending Lots of Love and Hugs. So the weather was so nice yesterday, I managed to get my lawn mown. So I was very happy about that. So I think it's slightly easier to stamp the sentiment and then the edge, personally. This is very slightly off to the left. So let's try that the other way. And I'll just use whichever one looks best. Lots of love and hugs. So this is our stamp set of the week this week. So you'll see some other designs using this. And remember, if you order our stamp set of the week, then you will get all the components for the cards that I make. So you'll get, yes, definitely easier that way, look. You'll get the pieces of paper, for example. Just let me know which ones you want. Okay, let's punch that out. So definitely text first and then the border. and I think it's because the border is completely hollow, it's easier to see where it's going. Right, let's grab some of the pretty papers. It says I've got Pretty Peacock as my backing. Just wondering what I've done with them all. So we've got this one here and this one. It's on the back of that. Oh yes, that would work. So I've got 3 different designs. You can have 6 different ones if you wanted to. Okay, thanks Kerry. Have a great evening. So let's see if that's deep enough. Just about. So these are the garden walk papers, and these were the ones that had as part of our class in September. Okay. Right, let's see how we go with that. So there's my backing. This one I'm going to do bottom right, like so, just for a change. Now there's nothing to stop you putting a blank one there, making your whole thing, and then having this up on dimensional. So perhaps I will try that. Let's grab a scrap of white. Just so that we've got a little bit of interest. So I'm going to put this one down first. It's a lot easier to have it flat when you're working around it, otherwise the temptation is to tuck it in underneath. So let's stick this one down. You could stamp this as well if you wanted to, but I'm just going to position this sort of bottom right, like so. Okay, so this is going to go up on top eventually. You could also punch that shape out, and then, except the punch would be slightly bigger, but that would also work. Okay, right, sorry, I'm yeah, nattering. Let's see, let's have a plain one. These are such pretty papers. These are 6x6 papers. So, okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use the offcuts to fill these ones in. Okay, so exactly the same thing. Don't put the glue on here, especially if you want to use any extra bits. But I can put it on here. I know roughly where it's going to go. Like so. And you can have them slightly wider spaced, or you can have them closer together. It's entirely up to you. Just have a little bit of fun with it. But definitely not too much glue. Right, this one's going on here. So I've left about 1/4 of an inch, or about 3 millimeters between each one. Okay, there's that one. That little bit's got more colour in it. There we go. This is perfect for Christmas cards. You could sit and punch out a whole series of papers and then just layer them up together. Catherine prefers the smaller flowers. Oh, these ones here, yes. Okay, so exactly the same here. And the paper is flat to the surface, so if there's a little bit that's not covered with glue, it's really not going to matter. It's much better than having the glue seeping out and everything go sticky. Okay, so I've got those elements there. This is going to go up on top of that one, so I'm going to trim these off. Just going to start with the ones that I did earlier, like so. So just as a reminder, if you're not on my email list, we have free delivery on orders over £60. So if you haven't checked out the clearance rack, I definitely recommend that. And if you need to top up with card or glue, inks, ink refills, or you want to try out some of the new Christmas kits, then that's a great way. As long as it's £60, you're good to go. Free delivery, and that runs from now until Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Right, let's see what we've got that will fit in there. So this one would definitely go in there, so let's do that first. Now the good thing about doing it this way is that if I want to change it and put it on the left hand side and some ribbon rounds, I could do. I don't think I've got any pretty peacock ribbon. Right, so I need this one here. Yeah, I'll just get away with that. Slightly short, but again, don't fret about it. There's that one. Looking for the edge of it. This is quite a good activity to do with youngsters as well. Right, so it's got to be an end to fit in there. So it's got to be one of the side ones. I think I'll use that. Let's trim these off, even though it's the same as the one next to it. Although, let me see what I can punch out of what's left. What do I ideally want to go in there? The stripes, really, because I've got 3, 2, 2. So I can get away with that. Just punch that little bit there, and that will fit in perfectly. Okay, so all we need to decide is bottom right or top left. Go. Just going to give that a minute to dry. Hi Linda. So I can either do it that way or that way. I don't think it really doesn't matter, does it? Any preferences, anybody? Okay, let's put dimensions on there. Now, if I had some pretty peacock ribbon, which I don't, I think I would probably put that across there. I think that would be quite nice. Okay, so, oops, dimensionals on the back. Right, everybody says right, perfect. That was as it was originally designed. There we go. If I had some white ribbon, I could colour that with a blends pen. Okay, just want to position that correctly over there. So what I'm going to do to give me a little bit of movement is put some glue on the back of your dimensionals. That way you've got the height, but it gives you the ability to move it around, like so. I can see I didn't do it very straight on there. There we go. That will do. And then that's going to go onto a white note card and envelope, and we're done. Of course I can't just find this one. And then you could stamp the a coordinating sentiment inside. So I'm just going to pop that one on there. Let's grab a bone folder, and then you could add bling to it. You could add a little ribbon bow, and although I've used papers, there's nothing to stop you using stamped images, so you could stamp all over a piece of paper and cut that out. There we go. I've just knocked that little stamp off onto the floor. You could also layer this onto another piece of card if you wanted to. So you can layer it onto a slightly larger piece, but there we go, I'm happy with that. So quick and simple. There's my retirement one using the back of the fish papers. We've got this one here with the garden walk papers, and then we've got fish. That's basically the same as I've just done, and then this one is just using those in the other direction, so they're vertical rather than horizontal. But yeah, give it a go. Now if you haven't got this particular punch, obviously you can purchase it, but look and see what other punches you've got. A square punch, a triangle punch, a tag punch even would work for this design. So thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed that session, and I will be back. I've got to show you the papers for our October card class, so I'll pop on later and show you that. And as I say, just a reminder that we have free delivery right the way through till Wednesday. Don't leave it any later than 10 o'clock to order, just because there's always the chance last minute orders, you know, everybody tries to order at the last minute. So if you do need anything, hop onto my website or go to stampinup.uk and search for me, and I look forward to being able to look after you and send you a gift if you use our host code. Thank you so much everyone. Do have a great morning, afternoon or evening, depending on where you are and when you're watching. Do take care, and I hope you can keep crafting. Bye for now. Thanks for your support.